Just three of our table. One table. I'm just going to go ahead and sit down and get the stress rate. I'm just going to go ahead and get 300 dollars out of my stress rate for 18.
Maybe think about him saying he had a special permit or whatever. That should be in writing.
Mine is still in schools. Probably really now.
That's fine.
And you can get part of
So that's the request of his special but you know that it's really the exception. And allow them
Yeah, that's what she's called. Good afternoon. Go ahead and call this finance committee meeting to order. I know we had several council members to inquire about the delinquent taxes and also the collection by RDS. We have two representatives from RDS that will come forward to any questions that you may have, and also go over some of the current delinquent accounts. I'm going to pass this information out to you, each council member, and I'm going to ask you at the end of the meeting if you will give it back to me because it's confidential with some of the names on here. So at this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Bailey and Mrs.
Kirk
to come forward. Do we have a podium?
I'm fine. I'll talk loud.
Okay, you good? Okay.
I'll talk.
Oh, we good.
You got a mic.
All right.
If you choose it.
You can take it out.
Like it's been right here. Council President has already handed out, this is your debt comparison report that we handed out. And it shows month to month, year to year, how sales tax is going. This is something that the treasurer or Shaquita has access to that she can look at on a monthly basis and give out to you all. If you compare 2017 revenue to what we collected in 2018, it's up $90,000. Also in between October 2017 to September 2018, we performed 171 audits on your behalf and collected over $158,000 in additional revenue on top of the $11.7 million. So I wanted to update you on that. Every month we send out, particularly to the treasurer and to the business license department, a delinquency report. As you can see, if you flip that over, you will see it says delinquency report. This is sent out every month, and this is done just so you can see who all is delinquent. As I explained to you all before, I wouldn't worry about the ones that are like, as you can see, that are 11/11/2018, because it could have been that they remitted maybe one day late and their information hit on this delinquency report. I will be more focused on the ones that are periods of 3 months or 6 months or something like that. And the last time we spoke to, I think you all are gonna try to talk about putting something in place as far as if y'all are gonna try to bring them before the council, with business license season coming up, if you all were gonna try to hold their business license. So we talked about that at one point as well. And if you flip that report over, these are all the delinquent accounts that are in our auditing department. And one of them is already, look at the 1, 2, 3, the third one down. They have been paying, and that amount has lowered down to $17,000. That's all they owe currently. So people are paying. We are always trying to collect this money on your behalf, but as I've always stressed in the past, we've got to get something in place from the council on how going forward we're gonna help us, because I thought at one point you all was gonna try to send a letter on your letterhead as I recommended. Sometimes it helps coming from the city, as far as if you all was gonna put like an injunction process in place and it was gonna come from the city. So
I guess, Ms. Bailey, I know prior to Attorney Nunn leaving, we started that process because I know one particular business, we did send a letter.
okay.
As it relates to the injunction. And you know what particular business I'm talking about.
Right.
I think I need to do a follow-up with you on that. If they haven't made satisfactory payments, we can bring them before the council. That's going to be another measure that
Right.
we talked with the council about, because we talked about getting the ordinance, bringing them before the council and revoking the business license. But I think it's very important also to council that we work very closely with the taxi license, because if they're on this list here, I don't think it would be in the best interest of the city that we give them a business license and they're on this list.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
I think it would be helpful because it is, I am delighted to know that this one particular business is now down to 17,000. I mean, I'm pleased with that. And of course, I think it would be helpful if we would get a copy of this report each month. See, because we just not knowing about this. We're just not knowing about this.
I've handed this list out a couple of months ago too.
Well, I'm like,
Yes. Yeah. I got it.
I'm just letting the president know we have not received copies. I know I have.
Neither have I. So that's why I want, in our
So we need to
conversation,
find out how we can get a copy of this list each month. That way we will be assured that our businesses are up to date, or at least trying to pay their taxes on the time amount.
yeah, in our conversation, that was one of the requests that I did make to Ms. Bailey to see, can we be included in the,
In addition to sending it downstairs, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Because she sends it downstairs.
yes.
Yeah, I sent it down.
To the finance office and also to the tax and license.
Well, technically, I cannot.
You can't.
I can't.
You can't
I mean,
send it
I can
downstairs?
send it to the treasurer. I can send it to Shaquita, and she can give the information to you all, and that you all are talking. That's the reason I'm saying all this stuff cannot be discussed in open forum.
Okay, what I would do then, I would just put in a letter to be included, CC your copy,
Okay.
along with the Pope, to make sure that we get our blessings and get this report.
Okay.
I don't know how much you can include her on that because
I'm just being.
she's saying technically
I'm
she
just
can.
being, I'm just.
Okay, because she
tongue in
can't.
cheek, yeah.
She cannot.
Councilman LaShaw, will you do?
No.
Okay, I had Councilwoman Thompson and Councilwoman Young.
President Boyd, I have a question to ask you. With the taxes in this business, the people that operate their business, do they pay like yearly or do they pay monthly? Do they come in and pay by monthly?
I think it's set up between RDS, am I correct, Ms.
Can I
Bailey?
ask you that?
Yeah, taxes are due by the 20th of every month. So any revenue, like on the 20th of this month, any revenue you're receiving for January is actually for December taxes. So they're due by the 20th. So if they come in and pay, they have until midnight to pay on the 20th. So if they pay at 12:01 on the 21st, they're considered late, and that's why they might have popped up. That's the reason I say the ones that are like 30 days behind. Next month, y'all see, it's gonna change. So, I would more focus on the ones that are like the top 4, or whatever like that.
Can I ask you another question? With the amount that's been owed on these business to add up to this, normally, if a business is operating on a month, like you said, supposed to pay taxes, isn't it supposed to be where we have in the tax collecting office where someone has not hadn't paid their taxes at a certain point that it should be where it should have been known not to let this get this far?
To be honest, Councilman Thomas, every city is totally different how they operate this. I have a city, if someone's 60 days late, they're taken to the circuit court. I can tell you in Montgomery, if they are behind, I don't know about how many days, and I recommend that y'all talk to their attorney, but if they're so many days behind on not renewing their business license or not paying sales tax, they're bringing them before the city council. And before they even get to city council, they worked out a promissory plan. So every city is totally different. Some say, I don't want anybody to go past 90 days. That's the reason I kept encouraging you all. You gotta put something in place.
Let me ask you another question.
All right, Councilman.
Can I finish?
Go ahead, follow up there, Councilwoman.
Can I finish?
Councilman.
And another thing I want to ask you, is that the reason why we have people in tax collecting office to make sure that, like when they go out, to make sure that their license is updated and paid up?
I cannot answer that as far as what their roles are, but the business license, if you read it, I think the first thing it says, it's a privilege to do business in a city. So that's one of the things when it comes to time to renew business license. Some cities, if they owe sales tax, they won't renew that business license. They'll put it on hold. They can collect the money, but they'll just hold it. They won't send it out. So it's whatever you all want to do, but the business license is a privilege tax, basically. So it's, Harry, I can't tell you what the process is yet, as far as what their job is.
Also, Councilwoman Thomas, that's it?
Yes, for now.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, go to Councilwoman Youngblood.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to know, who is paying, who's made agreements, and I realize that you can't give us this information, but I understand that there may be, I see that we have some, but if we could get, Mr. President, when we get the list of who has made arrangements, who's paid, because obviously sometimes people fall behind and they think taxes are just a choice, and they're not, because taxes don't belong to them. They belong to the city and the state. They're just a
Middleman.
conduit. Yeah, they just collect them.
If you look on the back of this document right here, you will see those are all the ones that we have agreements with.
And I think, this has probably been covered, but I just need to make sure that I have a good understanding. People who are paying as agreed, because I know of two of the businesses that have fallen woefully behind, and I know at least one of them that's not generally characteristic of those people of that business. But there had been some circumstances in the family and just some things in the business that had happened, but they have been doing, I think, paying regularly and is agreed. And then obviously another one, coming leaps and bounds and doing. I think when they're doing that they should continue to do business because they're doing a lot, and it's good for everybody. Obviously, the people who just don't care whether we get taxes or not, I'll not get a business license. But I think I agree with that 100%. If they don't care enough to, if they're stealing our money, which they're ostensibly doing, and not just ours, the counties and the states too. I don't think that ours is the only one that holds back.
Exactly.
They ought not be able to have the privilege of doing business.
Right.
But I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get regular reports from that department.
Okay. We will, I would definitely follow it up. And also, when we're looking at the 10% tax, 4.5% of it goes to the city, 4% of it goes to the state, and 1.5 goes to the county that match the 10%.
Thank you, Ms. Brooks.
And if we can somehow, and I think I've asked this question before, go through this particular list, and those that are still open, we really need to do something about.
Okay, because I know one of the, before I go to Councilman Short and Councilwoman Thomas, one of the business I know on this list has been, they have been closed for the last 2 years.
Okay.
But I think they just need to give you a statement or something, turn it in.
Right, but still, if they have, what we do, even if they're closed, if they still have property, we put a lien on that property. So just in case they sell it, they have to satisfy that lien first. So we, as you can see, we do have some liens in place. So we gonna maintain those liens.
So that was the second part of my question too. When people just aren't paying, if they've gone out of business or just aren't paying, what can we do? Put liens on their property?
We put liens on their property, and we maintain those liens until they are satisfied, sold, or they can't sell the property until the lien is satisfied.
Okay. Can we, is there an interception? I know with certain debts and things to the city, there's the income tax interception, and I know with their LLCs, that's a different thing.
Right.
But is there some kind of an interceptory service or something?
We are trying to get clarification on if we can participate in that program on the behalf of our partners, or if that's something that has to come from you all. I can't get a clarification from the league or the ACCA on that. So it might be something you all might want to look at.
And if I can pick, this is part of my second part of, even if we have engaged your all services, we can still act to collect.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Yes,
what I want to-
I would say if maybe you all can contact the league and they can tell you all, but I have talked to Lori Line concerning that debt set off is what they call it.
Right.
If we can file it on behalf of our partners and they can't clarify yea or nay, they say we have to get an AG's opinion on that. So we would have to get a city to do that for us. But surely you can find out if you all can put this on debt set off. But like you said, if it's a corporation, no, they can't. It has to be a sole proprietorship. But we can help identify those
Okay.
for sure.
Councilman Short and Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes, you had mentioned early on about those delinquent taxpayers hauling the court. Who do the hauling?
Do what now?
You had mentioned earlier about those delinquent taxpayers. Some cities haul them into court.
Yeah, they file a circuit court.
Who takes them to court?
The city attorney will file it and they take it to court. That way, Lynette, is it Valley? Valley does that.
So RDS don't do it, the city has to do it. Can the state do it if the state was the one to collect the taxes?
Oh, I don't know, but we will represent you all at the court hearing. But that's just something that the city does.
I don't think it has to be a city attorney. See, we don't have a city attorney
Okay.
anymore.
I'll check to make sure.
It could just be a representative. It
Right.
doesn't have to be an attorney.
Okay. I'll check to
Depending on
make
the
sure.
amount, well, it could be small claim, depending on the amount.
Right.
It wouldn't have to be a city attorney.
Because we've gone to court before, and even if you all do that, bring it before the council and need us to come down and testify to what's been going on, we can do that as well. That won't be any problem, but I'm just saying we need something. What's going to be the process?
Each month you send notices to businesses about their taxes, right?
We send them out on the 21st day,
And-
and we'll call them.
And if they're not paid, is there a follow-up?
It is. We send something out 30 days, like the next day on the 21st, then we have to wait 30 days, then they get another notice, then they have a seizure action notice, then they have a final warning card, and we document all of this. So we have information where we try to reach out, whether it be phone, paper, or whatever. We have all this information.
Each of those 3 correspondents worded different.
Yes, one get a little stronger than the other one. I can send you samples of those.
Please do that.
I'll do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Short. Hello, we had Councilwoman Thomas, then Councilman Johnson, then Councilman Randall.
I forgot your name.
Yolanda.
Yolanda, let me ask you this question. On the RDS, their system, the collecting agent, in a period of time, are you operated on a different agent, like recently, you know, like if, have you changed the agent that collects the taxes lately, you know? Like,
Now, only thing we did was rebranded. We changed our name to Avenue, and that happened early part of last year. But that was it. I mean, we're still a Birmingham-based company.
but I'm saying like the person that collects, when the person that owes the tax, they send it to a different agent that collects it.
No, they sent it to us. Only thing that changed was the Avenue part of it. That's it. Just the name change. We're still based out of Birmingham. The same people that work up there are still up there. Compliance department is doing their job, and none of that has changed at all. We don't outsource the collection part of it as far as people remitting their taxes through our portal or sending paper into our PO box and we're processing it. None of that has changed.
Okay.
And in fact, you remember, what was it, last year or the year before, we did a taxpayer seminar down here.
I was gonna ask you, would you all consider doing that again for the city of Selma?
Yeah, I would, but nobody came. But
We can offer it, but, James, if you would, if we get together and probably, if you could do a story, inviting all the businesses to come out and, see what we can do for us with it.
let me get my staff together and come up with some dates that we can possibly do it and help us find a
You
location.
got a follow-up question? Follow-up? Yes. Follow-up now, Councilman.
That would be a good prelude for any further drastic action. It will go on record to show that the city has done everything that they possibly can to get their businesses to be in conformity of paying their taxes before we move to more drastic means. And I think that would be a good thing. This tax, what you call this tax?
Seminar, tax seminar?
You know,
Cause I know we did one about, what, a year or two? Was it two?
Yeah, it was over at the
Performing Arts Center.
Performing Arts Center, yeah.
I'm through with this.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Johnson.
All right, Ms. Shalom. Do y'all do random drop-ins on business to check them and audit them?
Well, not drop-ins, but because we have to follow taxpayer bill of rights, if we're gonna do an audit, we have to send them notification, we have to get on their calendar.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm basically saying. But
Yeah, and
I
that's
mean,
where
yeah.
this $158,000 came from, because we did 171 audits.
Okay.
Whether it was on-site or desk audit, so that's where that came from. And then sometimes when we're doing an audit, if we're looking at records and looking at vendors' information, that might lead to another audit. So we're doing that as well, so.
Well, do y'all do a penalty interest for being late on each? Okay.
We collect all the penalties and interest.
And even right now, even though they still haven't completed, still penalty interest is steady ongoing with it.
Correct.
We mentioned some business that closed. Of course, you know, I closed my club back 2 years ago. Despite it was closed, I had revenue came in out of me some years ago. Even though I was closed, and I had to end up paying somebody, and with that penalties and interest gonna kick in. And I was closed. I ain't understand why, but still, I've been all going, I'm gonna pay it and
Right.
get done. So like you said, even though they closed, y'all will put a lien on the property, or they need to continue and take care of it.
Right, if they owe back taxes, yes, we're gonna put a lien on the property.
Okay.
As you can see, if you look at the 6th one down on the back of this sheet right here,
Oh, I
is
see.
a lien on that property.
I see. Okay, yes, okay. Good.
So
Okay.
the lien is gonna stay in place. You know, we have some instances where in one city, there was a lien in place and these people wanted to buy a house, they wanted us to remove the lien so they can buy a house, buy furniture with all the money and then put the lien back on the new house. No, that's not gonna happen.
What's the interest rate on the penalty interest?
I would have to look and see. I think it's state mandated. I can't remember, but it's always constantly going until you satisfy.
I got you. Okay, thank you.
Is that something you want to know and want me to let you know?
No, we good.
Okay.
No.
But yeah.
Councilman Randall.
Keep going, he'll be back.
Okay.
And even with, let me tell you this, even if somebody paid like the day, if they're at 1201, they're gonna be assessed that $50 late fee too.
Right.
So,
Also, too, that seller's use tax, that's the internet tax, correct?
the streamlined seller's use tax is something, you know, that started, back in 2015. It was basically for those companies that could sign up and remit taxes, at 8%. Even though, you know, your sales tax is primarily 10% in Alabama, they got a 2% discount, but it's 8%. 4% go to the state, 2% to the county, and 2% to the cities. It doesn't matter where the item is bought or sold. It's divided up by population, the city portion is. So, and that split now is at 60-40. The counties are getting 40%. I think the cities are getting 60%. It's gonna vary, and I know with the Quill Wayfair cases, even those that are filing, you know, back then with SSUT, it was only affecting like Amazon if they were fulfilling through Amazon, but now it's gonna affect those, even those that are third-party suppliers to Amazon. They're gonna have to pay that sales tax as well. So, but that money is coming directly to you all. We don't handle that.
Cause I
That's
know
something.
in the past, I think you used to get it quarterly, but now I think
It's monthly,
It's
yes.
monthly now.
One last
Go
question.
ahead.
Now, the internal revenue come a little step a little higher than you are.
Yeah, they're federal.
Right. The reason why I said they'll go in your account and draw it out your account.
Right, and that's where, Councilman Youngblood was talking about the debt set off. The state started that program, for any debt owed to cities, they can, attach it to your state tax return, and, they can withdraw that money from your state taxes, whether it be, court fines and fees, I think it is, if there's like city water or garbage or something like that, any debt owed to the city and counties, you can attach it to their tax return. So that's the reason I was like, I guess we're gonna have to request the AG's opinion. Maybe Selma can request the AG's opinion on our behalf or your behalf to see can we do that for you all, because I think now with the league, you have to send a file to them and all that stuff like that.
Mr. President, we need to look into that. I don't know who's gonna take charge of that, but that's, I think it's very important.
Yeah, it is.
We need to look
It's
into
a
that.
good program.
It will.
With income tax season right around, I don't know how often you have to submit the files, but you have to submit the files to the league, I think.
Okay. As far as with the gas, go ahead.
Yeah, could you explain the difference between, and I'm reading from this list, the difference between jurisdiction discoveries and total hold? What's the difference?
Where you're at now?
On the back of,
Back page.
Oh, okay.
What's the difference between those two line items?
Oh, that's just how much we discovered that they owe. And then, that's what their balance is, if they've been paying on, promissory notes or paying monthly payments. I do need to get her to adjust that much, third one down, because like I said, their balance is now like 17,000.
Okay. Well, I can truly say, I am pleased, Mr. President, because the last sheet that I got like this was well over $500,000. That has been cut drastically, so it gives the appearance that the collection is moving properly. It may not be as fast as we want it to move, but thank God it's not as plentiful as it used to be.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Randolph. I think you have the floor.
I was gonna ask a question about, on this sheet right here. You got two up at the top. And I see the oldest date is 2017. So, this is 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we still full with people from 2017? If they ain't paid by now, do you think they gonna pay?
If they're still open, they should pay. That's the reason I'm asking the council, we've got to put something in place.
What
I mean,
we have to do, council,
Yeah,
I think we already have some on the book, a ordinance, but I think we need to refine that ordinance to bring it before the council and, put it on first reading and then move forward from there. Because see, currently now, there's no, check and balance, because they can go out and request them to remit the taxes, but if they don't remit them and, I mean, just keep sending the letters out, it's going to have to be where the council step in and have put some place to make sure that, we're working hand in hand with RDS and also the tax and license.
You know, but we mentioned about business license. If anybody is 60 days or more, we should issue a business license to them, period. 30 days, maybe, I might have came short 60 days, But we ain't saying close it down, maybe. We say, hey, we're gonna give you so many days a month to come up with this money or something, because a payment or something, because what it is, see, a lot of these businesses on this list, they don't respect the city enough, because they think they're getting over on us. And until we put some teeth in this stuff, they're gonna keep on saying, well, I'm collecting 10%, but I ain't getting to the city. That's what they're doing, and it's unfair to us,
Also, too, I request the ordinance from Montgomery to be emailed to me, and what we probably can do is revise, look at it, bring it before the council, and they should look at it and whatever we need to do to modify for our situation. And hopefully I can have it by tomorrow, and we can put it on first reading, then move forward for the first meeting in February.
Have there ever been an experience by this city to bring businesses before this council?
No.
So this would be a first.
Yes, sir.
And it is what it is, we just gotta do what we gotta do.
Yes, sir. Also, too, you are contract with the county also, Dallas County.
Mm-hmm.
And your contract is, I think it's about
With the
April.
county, they just renewed.
That's what I-
Oh, you are April.
April, okay. And I think if my memory serves me correctly, it's on a year basis.
Yes. It's a yearly contract.
Okay.
Is there a specific date?
I want to say it's April the,
5th, 26th.
yeah, 30th, towards the end of the month.
Towards the end of the month.
Is it a one-year contract?
Yes,
In
sir.
the past, yeah. And also with that, follow Councilwoman Thomas, I think it was a variety in that contract. I think he talked about the lodging tax. I can't remember.
We collect a lodging tax, and you all have like a pillow tax that we collect for. I think it's a rental tax as well, that we collect for you all as well.
Councilwoman Thomas.
I know you said that if a business is gone out of, is completely closed and gone out of business, and you said somebody putting a lien on the property, but what if the property that that person used to have the business in, and they owe taxes and they are no longer operating at all? Like I see one on here that you have, in this business is no longer in operation at all. So what do you do what do we do about that?
What we do is, if they didn't own that building that the business was in, we try to find property wherever it may be, their own personal property. That's what we attach to
Okay.
to, their personal property. It can even be another state. We just do a search and find whatever property they have and put the lien on that property.
Oh, okay.
And I think we put it on all properties that they have, not just that one.
Any other questions?
And even if somebody sell a business and they still owe taxes, I think the way it was explained to me by our auditor, that new owner owes that tax.
Really? So the one I'm looking at saying that if they sold it and the person that's in there now operating, so they owe the back bill of what the
That's
tax?
the way it was explained to me. I will clarify that, but I think that's the way it is. The way Jonathan explained it to me. Yeah.
Councilwoman Bennett.
Okay, so I finally have a question since you said that. I kind of knew the answer to all this other stuff because I knew we had it downstairs. So, if we have the changing of the hands of different businesses, and we do in Selma, businesses here change hands a lot. Are you saying that the new owner that comes in, let's say,
If they're operating under that same name, yes.
operating under the same name, and it changed hands to me from Councilman LaShore to me, I'll now
Incur that debt.
incur that debt. Oh, okay.
I think that's fair, it should be.
Yeah.
You
For
incur
that
that debt.
reason, is because if you go to Councilman LaShore and say, well, look, you need to get your business taken care of before I move forward, he will get it taken care of. Because he know that if he wants to, yeah, I think that's a good
Because, you
thing.
know, in a city,
That
what
might
they
be-
do is, another city, what they do is, they will ask us X number of business owe any taxes before they even get the business license.
That's the purpose of the training, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you buy the assets and.
It makes sense.
Right,
Yeah.
That's right, that makes sense.
I'm glad you said it though.
But that's, like I said, in another city, they'll call and say, hey, does this company owe any back taxes or anything before we even issue a new business license to the new business owners?
But people have not been doing that, and I think that's why we've been stuck like Chuck. Because that's not been happening. That part of the process has not been happening. And I think people have circumvented forever by the changing of the hands of different businesses from my brother to my sister or whoever I change over to get beyond what it is that we owe as a family. And usually sometimes it appears to me, and it might not be, it appears to me that these are numbers of families that do these type things. And so my family does not have to pay taxes. Here is what I will do
We see it on
to
council.
the city of Selma. Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, I thought you said that the changing of the name, if they go in the same name, then y'all have opportunity to go at them. But if they change the name, which y'all have difficult time trying to collect that.
If it's the same, yeah, if the same, I think it's the same name, they kept everything the same, just changed ownership,
Right,
they're responsible.
right. But now if like Ms. Benjamin, Councilwoman Benjamin said, if she's Selma Hair Supply, and Councilman LaShore used to have Selma Hair Supply, you can go get it. But now, if Councilman Benjamin's changed her name to Alabama Hair Supply, then it's difficult.
I'll check into that, but I think she would still be responsible.
Good, I hope so.
Yeah.
Good.
Cause it's the same type of business,
Right.
same,
Yeah.
all you're doing is changing the name. I can say, Mama Stop One,
Right.
I'm finna open Mama Stop Two.
That's right.
My sister finna, get Mama Stop One from me,
They should
you
be
know?
responsible. You're right, I agree.
They still should be responsible.
You should do that.
Also, too, council members, you know, I don't want to, I feel that RDS, let me give you some insights. During the holidays, when the state shut down, other revenue company that collect the taxes, they shut down also. But with RDS, they work through the holidays, like if you're a state employee, Thanksgiving and Christmas, other revenue collection, they shut down. And that can be a delay in our taxes, but with RDS, am I correct with that?
Oh yeah, I was in a constant basis with Shaquita all the time. She was wondering when was money coming in. I could tell her, okay, X number of thousands of dollars are coming this day, the next day, we got this and all that stuff. So I think even in the month of December or November, you all got like 12 remittance that month. So
11 and a half.
11 and a half. So we were in constant contact with her.
Councilman Short and Councilman.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. Watkins, right?
Yes, you call me Yolanda.
Let me ask you a question, Ms. How long have you been with RDS?
I've been with the company for 14 years, it'll be 15 in July.
Okay, well, maybe you can answer my question then. In your experience with tax collection with the city of Selma, to my understanding, Selma has had both entities. They've had the state revenue and they've had RDS. In your experience with the city of Selma, is this period of collection, is it almost the same, worse, better, or what?
I would say, well, I would say, over time, you see businesses close, and we can track and see businesses close, and I can tell you how much revenue you are gonna lose if Belk decide to close tomorrow. I can tell you what you're gonna lose and stuff like that. But the thing about it is just getting new retail. When one closes, you gotta get one behind it to come in. But I would say my biggest thing over the years is just trying to get us and the council, we are partners, as I've always stated. We are partners. This is a partnership. This is not our money, is your revenue. We're just here as a middleman to collect it for you and get it here quickly as possible. And we just want you all to put something in place to help get it for those that are not remitting in a timely fashion, rather than saying RDS is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because we don't get any money from sales tax collection because the bulk of it is yours, you know? So we just want to enhance the partnership, come up with something that's gonna work. I know it's a bad thing when people don't remit when they're supposed to remit, and you have to come to those tough times and say, okay, well, what are we gonna put in place? Like with your credit card, if you don't pay it in 30 days, probably about the 40th day, you can't go out and shop anymore. So you gotta put things in place.
Well, I know, over the years, business has increased and business has decreased.
Right.
But let me just break it down a little bit further. Have there ever been a time where the delinquent taxes had gotten to the amount that this council has experienced?
I don't think so. I mean, Ms. Mickey, you've been on the council a long, we've been, you know,
We've been together a long time.
yeah, we have. On and on, but,
I think I requested you personally.
I think revenue, because you saw when in the 08, revenues completely dropped. And even, so I think now they're coming back to where they were back then, you know?
But now, even if they drop, the collection will have no bearing on whether they dropped or whether they increased. The point I'm trying to make, get some understanding. You know, when I spoke about looking at the dollar amount that I'm looking at now, I'm pleased with that versus what I saw earlier.
Right.
In your experience, has there ever been a time where that amount has equaled what we used to have? That $500,000?
Well, I don't even know where the $500,000 came. Well, one time it was $1 million, so, you know,
But it was about $500,000.
It was 555.
$555.
It was 555.
yeah, so, I mean, they are coming down, it's just that.
That 555 was like counting sheep to me.
Right, I mean, you do have some businesses that come in, that's what they're gonna do, they think the money is for them to pay their car note, pay their house note. It's an educational process that you can't commingle your tax funds with your personal funds, and so these numbers are coming down. But like I said, it's some on here that if they're open, we're just trying to get those that are open, you know.
So I see you're not gonna give me a.
I mean, it's a.
Answer. Yeah. Well,
they're coming down. I
and
mean,
of course, I respect your answer. You know, I'm just trying to get a feel for what used to be versus now. And if that was the norm of having $500,000 in delinquent, then we're on course with doing business. And of course, we never should be satisfied with $500,000 that was in tax. We should always strive to get that number even lower. But, you know, once again, I am pleased that this number is at a level that we can live with.
right. But we want to get it down.
Definitely.
We want all this.
Definitely want to get it down.
I think it was Councilman Johnson,
Yeah.
Councilman Johnson.
Ms. Yolanda, let me ask you, we had a gentleman come before us, and I think they were talking about Department of Revenue, how they was bad boys. how they come in with the badge and gun and all. Do it make a difference, or do y'all go in and do the same thing from which they do? Because they feel like the business will be threatened by them coming in.
The reason why they do that is because they owe the state money. Mainly, it's probably the reason why they come and close down or padlock a business, but we don't want to take that power from you all, because if we did that, how would we look to you all and say, okay, well, we finna go close down this business right here in 24 hours?
Right.
You know? I mean, but that's your authority too.
Well, I know that, but you asked the question. If
Yeah.
you had that authority.
Right.
But y'all can if it came down to that.
I think we can put something in place to whereas we can, but it still has to come before the council.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but now the state can do it. I don't recall the state came before, but you saying state had the authority to.
I guess, I really don't know.
What you would tell us that make a difference between you and our department?
I would say, your cost saving as far as fees are lower with us than with them. I would also say you're getting your revenue like 3 or 4 times a week rather than once a week. I would also say that we are here to collect on your behalf. Sure, everyone has problems and there are some, I'm gonna say miscommunications or something like that, but we're just trying to get things in place. We're not here, plus, I come by and see my clients. I mean, I stop by on a regular basis and talk to Ms. Oliver to make sure everything is going smoothly, or she can pick up the phone and call me. I have taxpayers call me. I don't mind that. I don't mind if you call me with a question and want some information or data or something like that. So I think we are more hands-on. We're just not here trying to collect and hold and get the interest off of whatever money there might be out there.
Well, when I first joined the council, I think we were with you all. We, some kind of way, got back to our department. But we ended up getting y'all back.
Right.
So apparently something they weren't doing right. So I'm just hoping, pray we just quit the yo-yo and just stick with somebody that's continue doing what we need to do.
Right.
Also, too.
I pray that too.
Following the councilwoman mentioned, we need to start thinking about too, the contract coming up in April. I would suggest a 2-year, let's go around, instead of a year by year. We can consider it. Councilwoman.
It was a comment earlier because I thought I was coming behind Councilman LaShore, but the 555 when I came into office, the reason that we called you was because of the 555. We called you because we were with the other agents. And when you came in, you were trying then to put some things in place, and you began the audits, and you began to talk to the businesses, and I can tell you it was pretty thick. The documents were pretty thick. There were a lot of businesses on there, and I'm saying this to say because sometimes people don't know, and I'm glad you had the personal touch with some business owners. We even had a council member that's no longer a council member, so it's nobody up here. We even had a council member on that list who was not aware that they were on that list. And the touch that you have with, because we don't want to be in the business of shutting businesses down, but we do want to let them know we will if we have to. And so I appreciate the relationship that you came here and you built with the businesses instead of coming with your gun and badge and saying, I'm here to shut you down, and I'm here to shut you down right now. Because if we have these payment plans on here, and it seems to me, folks are paying. I'm like Councilman LaShore, this one has come down tremendously. A miracle. So whatever you're doing with that one, do it all. I'm sure you're doing it with all of them. But that one right there just caught our eye because it was huge the last time we got a report. And I do appreciate that. And so whatever your recommendations are, We don't disregard them. We've been lagging in them because we have so many distractions.
Correct.
And we don't want to wake up 4 years and because of distractions, we've done nothing because of that. We did send that one letter out that you recommended, and it seems like it's time for us to send some more letters out. Like we did with that one business that we sent a letter out to. It seems like it's time for us to send several letters out. To do that. On here where you have different businesses, more than once, like some are on here like 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Are they running different businesses or is this because of something else?
Different time periods, cause
That's
we
all?
keep track, we just keep track of all that, so it's
Okay.
different time periods, so
Okay. But it's the same one business?
it's the same one business.
Okay, I got you.
Well, I think Ms. Angela Shannon, just what Councilwoman Bishop said, whatever it is that can make things much lighter for you all, please email it to the president, but we can go ahead and do our part.
Right.
Because I know you said several times, it's up to the council. But whatever it is to help make it easy for you all that we need to do it. Just please let President Boyd let us know.
Right.
That way we can move forward on, like Councilman Benjamin said about the letters, and I agree.
Yeah, and we can work this list right here,
Yeah.
and if they're open, let's do something about those and say, okay, what are you all willing to do? Because we're willing to work with them. I mean, our people are calling them on a constant basis trying to get something in-house, whether it be on a promissory note, a payment plan, or whatever. So we're just trying to get the revenue.
Yeah, because some of these businesses on here are highly respected businesses, and we can't even say on this things happen because these were not your taxes, but it did happen,
Right.
and so now we're at this point. So I'm just saying I appreciate the way that you built the relationships with them, so that we can get our money rather than locking the door.
And also too, before I go to Councilwoman Thomas, I know Ms. Bailey, you went out, you visited number 1 on several occasions. Stopped by the meeting.
Yeah, somebody, our auditor tried to come by.
I talked with, I met with this.
Number
this is
one.
Number 1 on 2 or 3 different occasions, and like I said, that personal touch make all the difference in the world. Councilwoman Thomas.
Yes, I have a question. I heard you just said that on a normal basis, from 1 to 3 weeks that you send, show where we have tax revenue coming in.
Whatever.
You said one thing that you do that we have from 1 to 2, 3 weeks that we have tax revenue coming in.
No, I said 1 to 4 times a week you all have tax revenue coming in.
Okay,
Yes,
so
meaning we're sending it to your bank account, yes.
okay, so I'm saying the tax revenue that comes in. President Bowie, I have a question for you. The tax revenue that comes from RDS, do we have it where in our monthly report we're showing, when we get our monthly finance report showing that this finance is coming in from RDS, what's be coming in? It shows that. Okay.
Anything else, Councilwoman Thomas?
No.
Thank you, ma'am. Councilman LaShaw.
Miss Yolanda, on your current delinquent accounts, you have categories. I need for you to explain to me the events where it says discoveries, third parties, final assessment. Could you basically explain what is going on with these categories?
These are the type of letters that we send out. The final assessment is just, it's final. This is what we've come up with. Sometimes it's an because what we do with the, as you will see when I send the collection letters, if they haven't remitted any tax reports to us, we're gonna come up with an assessment that's higher than what we think, just trying to get their attention, say, hey, you owe $20,000, and they might be like, no, I don't owe that much, let me send you my actuals and stuff like that. So that's what that is. Third parties, the only time we send out to third parties is when we have exhausted all about what we can do. If we can't find any property in their name, we'll send them out to a third party, to an attorney to try to collect that money on our behalf as well. That's what that is. And promissory note is just what it says. We go into a promissory note with them saying, hey, you're gonna pay us 10% good faith money down, and you're gonna pay us $200 a week or $200 a month, and we can do that ACH where we just automatically put it on a credit card or debit it out of their account or whatever. That's what that promissory note is.
When you send us to third party, who incurs that cost?
It's all included with us, yes. But if we can, because even if you want to say like the last one, if you say, okay, we're just gonna wipe that one off. You know, you can go through this list and say, okay, we want to wipe off. We want to have a threshold of, okay, we're not even gonna worry about this right here.
Yeah, the last one is not worth it.
Yeah, it's not even worth it. Or of all these, that's the reason I kind of want somebody, whether I have to send it to Miss Kim downstairs or whatever, and say, can you go through this list and tell me who's open or who's closed, or if you all want President Bowie to do this, say, go through this list right here and tell me who is currently open and if they have a business license. And we'll go from there.
This NSF reversal posting, what is that?
Bad check.
Okay.
And with us too, if somebody write us, I think it's 3 bad checks, they can't pay their tax. They can't write any more checks, and plus they can't remit their payments through our online portal. They have to send in actual cashier's check, money order, and send an actual form.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? All right, I think you have shed some light on Councilman?
No, I'm trying to ask you about a company I saw.
Okay.
And if y'all need my card again, please feel free to, I'll give it to you again. If you have any questions, call me. I don't mind.
I think, Mr. President, if I may, to let Ms. Yolanda know what necessitated this meeting was that 5:55. And, you know, that we weren't aware that this has been drastically reduced. And when you have that type of money that's hanging out there, and looking at our financial woes that we're experiencing now,
Right.
we really need that money.
Right.
And, you know, you need somebody to vent to, and we wanted to vent to you guys.
Oh, that's fine. That's what I'm here for. I'll take all the bullets. I don't
And I just
mind.
want to thank you guys for coming and sharing with us and explaining some things, because I just,
Just the one, right?
Just the one, yeah.
And, I will, Councilman Bowie, I will get the, who do you want me to coordinate the taxpayer seminar with? It'll probably be next month. If you can find me a location.
I was on location tomorrow, cause I know last,
They can keep that.
okay, I know the last one that we attended, it was Performing Arts Center, right?
Yes.
Okay, if you would go ahead on this, if you would, go ahead on and, get me the dates and we can work on, finding the venue.
Okay, that'd be,
Let me say this, with this, seminar, we should make it mandatory for the folks on the list to be there. I mean,
Sounds good.
you should make it mandatory for them, say, let them know.
On the list.
Yeah, the ones that's on this list, hey,
well, that would be a prelude to us going beyond
That's right.
further action.
That's right.
We give them every opportunity to come into conformity and to do what's right. And then once we begin to take more drastic action, they can't say, y'all just not approaching us about collecting
We ain't know.
taxes.
but we want to show them, let them get the seminar so they can understand that
I
what's
agree,
on the taxes.
I agree.
Yeah, cause
That's on our end now, not on her end.
Yeah, that's what I said on our
I
end.
agree.
We say, hey, you know, y'all need to, you know, y'all been on this list
We're
more than
gonna
one
make it
time.
mandatory for you to attend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
yeah.
And I also think we need a website that says delinquent taxes.
no, you can't do that. You
Okay.
can't do that.
But, you know, but-
And that's why I often a money show about calling out names of the businesses and all that.
Can't do that.
Can't do that, that's a taboo. Councilman, I think you had
Yeah,
that.
no, but, you know, I think, you know, but if we invite them, make it mandatory for them to come, then people gonna come and see who here that hadn't been paying their taxes.
I tell you
You
what,
know, so I understand what y'all saying.
I tell you what, Councilman Randolph, with your charm, I'm quite sure you can get out of here.
You know, I think it's important.
It is, it
You
is.
know, they publish in the newspaper people whose property taxes hadn't been paid.
All right, Councilwoman Benjamin?
So, no, I think it's a good idea, Councilman Randolph, so
It is.
we should not cancel it out, but leave the meeting open to everyone.
Yeah, everyone.
We don't, everybody doesn't have to be focused on the letter that goes out to businesses, but the invitation that goes out to the public. So it's open to the public, so you will not know who in the audience owns what.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure we do everything decent and in order, and make sure the entire public is, because the last time you did have an empty house, no one came.
I even had breakfast.
I know, you spent money on breakfast.
You did.
So the getting out of the word is on our end. It's on our end to get it out to get the letters out to the businesses that are on the list, but also continue to remind the public, use all forms of media, print media, television media, social media,
Yes,
and to make sure everyone comes. Everyone comes to the meeting. So it's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I'll take that back. I think you got another workshop here too. It was here in the council chamber. How could you forget
It was
that?
people at that one.
Yeah.
I think the Time Journal could help us with headlines, city crackdown on delinquent taxpayers.
I'm like it.
So, yeah, print that, Mr. Dane.
And we can also
It's
try
more
to
than
do
this.
too, like,
Print that. And don't print no fake news.
I just love that.
Have to be there to get that joke. Got it. Got it.
Okay, thank you so much.
and whenever we get the date set up, I think we also did like a telephone blast to all the taxpayers too, so we can do that as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that.
To all the taxpayers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
To let them know the date, and I can see if we can do that again.
That'll be
We
good.
set it up.
But you know, I really like Miss Yolanda because I call her often and she do answer my calls, so,
That's why you want to do a 2-year contract.
We don't know.
yeah. Okay, tell your husband I say hello. Let me go ahead on. Let me go on this time.
Well, thank you for
I ain't gonna get out of that
thank you to the both of you.
Thank you to
you
both.
all. Thank you all for always coming in the same spirit that you all come in every single time, and you don't mind the hard questions. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And also too, work session is it what, Thursday? What's the day, Tuesday, Thursday already? One of the issues that we're gonna definitely be talking about is
What's our next topic?
that school board.
School board, yeah.
Mr. President, I think the minutes is clear.
I know, but I think we have Miss Harris here,
CFO.
CFO. But I think we definitely need have Dr. Williams here, if she can be along with Miss Harris.
Did you need to speak tonight?
Nah, she's something.
Thursday?
Nah.
Do y'all know that the county pulling their taxes from the
Yes.
school system?
I heard that.
It's
Is that true?
conversation, yeah, it's
No
conversation.
conversation.
They-
I heard it, yeah.
They
Yeah.
repealed that.
They was still the accent.
So that, they really got, well, I'm not gonna say.
Yeah.
Their intention was to bail out the Dallas County school system.
Mhm.
And when they found out that they couldn't do it because of the law,
Mhm.
no politics, the law, then they decided not to give nobody nothing.
So they're gonna remove the tax?
In its totality.
Let me,
Wow.
can I tip a little bit on that? It's not, I don't really mean to be ugly. What happened was, this was several years ago, and the county really didn't do their work. They needed to do some checking. The county passed their little sales tax years ago for the school system. And everything was going along okay, so they thought, until the state auditor found it and said, it's state law that if a county passes for the school system, then the city school system that's in that area has to get half of it. So they had to go back and divide and give it half, and any of it said, well, they wanted to go to the city, so the city said, when you gonna give me my money? What?
I'm saying the city school never got their money.
They never got their money and they wanted it, but they would do it. The state said they would do it. And the county was very angry. And then there was some real bad things, I'm sure as you know, with Senator Sanders tried to get it fixed. And then there was a big brouhaha about that. But, so the only way to fix it was for them to repeal it and then to redo it. I don't know why they couldn't just leave it as it was. But, I know, but anyway, there you go. But I don't know why they couldn't, and I don't know what they did this year. I don't know if they went and said, look, instead of our having to come up with all this money, can we just go forward like it is? I don't know if the school systems, I mean, I don't know what the deal was on that. But I do know that I was real disappointed with the way some of the people on both sides acted and reacted. And some of the people in the Senate, and some of the people in the legislature, and some of the people in our city and county offices acted. I do know that I can do that right now.
Also,
Disappointment.
we will be calling the Public Safety Committee meeting on next week. It's something that we need to discuss with the school system, that Dr. Williams will be bringing a proposal to the Public Safety Committee that we will discuss it next week when we have a Public Safety meeting for us to look over. Okay? And last but not least, yes, sir.
You know, before we leave that subject, you know, I think the council needs to know there has been no money taken from the school system.
No,
There was talk of it, there was a thing that's supposed to have taken place, it never took place before that action took place. So, the record speaks for itself, the money's still with the school system.
yeah. But then they have not received,
Well, now, that's a different.
That's why I said, that's why we need to go on record to move forward with that. And I think I proposed to council members that just think about it, that we move the work sessions to Monday nights instead of Thursday nights.
Amen.
Here.
Bring it up for a vote Tuesday, just make it happen.
Okay.
At this point, will that change, are we clashing with the school board now? As is,
Our work session was last Thursday, it was usually like the first Thursday, so we're supposed to have had it like last Thursday, and we have our board meeting tonight. So, board
do you
meeting-
meet every Tuesday?
No,
Okay, so we don't clash.
sometime we did.
Okay.
But I think, you know, it'll probably be more advantageous if we just move it to Monday nights, and then the
Yeah, because I would
following
like to go to
Tuesday.
the school board
Yeah,
meetings sometime.
following Tuesdays, we can just go ahead and move forward with the vote. And like I said before, starting in February, everything's gonna go through committee and move forward through just committees. All right, is there anything else? And if you can, get your business items to me by 12 o'clock Thursday.
Yes, Mr. Secretary.
I mean, if this is gonna automatically be on the agenda.
What's that?
Thursday,
Yeah, for the school board.
Yeah, that's my business item.
superintendent on you.
Yeah, superintendent, we, okay.
If you get a chance, Mr. President, read the minutes of,
I did.
November the 19th.
I did, yeah, that's the thing is. That's what I told you. I just wanted to be clear inside. All right, thank you, it's been a very productive meeting. Y'all have a safe trip back to
So we
Montgomery.
gonna be work session when?
It's gonna be Thursday, this night, yeah, then Tuesday night.
You're lying.
We will vote to start having Monday, first and third Monday.
Okay.
James, you might want to put, we may be considered first and third Monday.
Okay,
Work
so
session.
that's fine. That means I go anytime you want.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you fixing to
Yeah,
I got you something in my car.
Hey, you still got all the tickets in on.
They done had, they had.
I want to check that.
Yeah.